Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's the Real Spill Live Show with your host, Roman Kelly, my co-host, Trevor Kelsey, and our newly acquired, freshly appointed second co-host, Will Wigginton. Sorry. Fellas, so good to have you guys back on. It's been a minute. It's been quite some time. We've taken some time off, but we were back. It feels good to be back. We've got a lot I want to talk about, a lot I want to discuss. Trevor, Will, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. We are currently live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. Thank you. Shout out to Rashawn Myers as well for giving us his X Premium. We're currently live on Rashawn's Twitter platform as well. So should be getting some live viewers in from that. It looks like we've already got 10 in from his Twitter platform. So shout out to you guys for coming in and joining. Like, comment, subscribe down below. If you're not already subscribed to the Real Spill podcast, go and subscribe so you can get the notifications for when the Real Spill live show airs and goes live, of course. But Will, Trevor, enough of that intro and business there. We don't have a sponsor or anything like that, so there's no reads or anything we're going to get into yet, right? If you want to get your company's name out there, if you want to get your name out there, right? I think there's a way we could integrate a caller line. Maybe we could do a video guest line or something like that. If you want to be a part of the video guest line and sponsor it, let us know. But yeah, already the most live viewers we've ever had at one point. So this is great. Will, Trevor, I'm sorry. It's on me that it's taken us so long to get back on the airwaves. I apologize. I've been not as busy as I've been kind of busy, but not nearly as busy as one needs to be to where it's been over a month until we've been on the airways. I apologize to you, Trevor.
Well, let me stop you. I appreciate it. First of all, I say goodbye to all the viewers because I think we had that record because I hadn't said a word yet until now. But we'll kiss that record goodbye.
It's going up, Phil.
I know you're trying to fall on the sword for me here. This is all on me because after the Creighton game, I was very depressed, a little sad. I had to take some time. I visited Tibet. I joined. I talked with some monks. Unfortunately, Brad Pitt did not make it look as cool as that it really is. It was not the same as his trip, but I had to do some inner looking and find the inner Trevor, and to realize, with such an up and down and yet so emotional season, such a team that, despite being a first round exit, is going to be probably held in the heart of my random fandom of history and nostalgia with teams that went to Elite Eights and Final Fours. And that at Louisville, that seems unusual, but it is what it is. And despite a very sad day, and I know Will was at the game, and we can talk about it more, I had to take some time off, and I'm back now. Most of it was due to a customs issue. I was really only supposed to be gone like 48 hours, but they had this thing, and it was a search, and it was a whole ordeal. So I spent some time in the Netherlands a little bit, and then some more time in Amsterdam, but I'm back now. I'm kidding, Pearl Lobster, if you're watching. I've been here the whole time. No, I missed you guys. I missed everything about you. I missed watching the TV behind Will. I missed looking at Kobe behind Roman, and I missed talking to anybody who really gets the fuck of listening to what I have to say.
I'm glad that you made it back safely. I hope that you met some lovely ladies over there, and you maybe got some pen pals now and some love interest over there. I hope you maybe got a friend you can go back and visit as well, because it seems like you've been having some adventures. But Trevor, I understand. I was sad. I was just devastated. I needed to do some soul searching a little bit as well.
Hard.
Will, you were at the game. Talk to us. How's your last month been? How's, I don't want to go back into some trauma, but at the end of the day, there's positive feelings about having made the tournament, having been able to be there. So let's talk about it. How was your experience at the game?
Got to relive it. the vibes going into it were immaculate. UofL fans everywhere. Got into the stadium, it was 90% red. Rupp Arena, by the way, I've been before, but this is the first time I've been for like a legit game. That place sucks. There's like 5 total bathrooms in the entire arena. It took 45 minutes at minimum. Overrated ice cream. They don't know how to sell beer because they don't sell beer typically.
Don't forget the upper level that if you lean forward more than like an inch, you feel like you're falling straight to your death.
Yeah, no, you're gonna fall straight down, especially on the sides. The ends where there's still bleachers, it could be worse. But on the right side though, tons of UofL fans. That place was loud. I mean, even when we were coming out for pregame warmups, it was electric. It was probably the loudest UofL game I've been to this season, and I've had season tickets this year. We had some great environments, but the crowd did everything possible. I mean, when Rain first came in, buried his first 3, felt like we were on top, but it just went all downhill from there. I know sitting in front of us were a row of Creighton fans, and a few of them were toddlers, and they were just screaming the entire time. I wanted to kick them so bad, but you can't. And then there was some UK fan sitting to my right. She was pissing me off the whole time and was just talking about how amazing UK is and how terrible UL is. But she was saying it like backhanded compliments kind of way. You know, like you guys have like the Clemson fans where they're like, oh, you guys have a nice little ball club. That's kind of the condescending tone she had. But
That's the worst.
All in all, it was terrible. The drive home sucked. Traffic everywhere.
So clearly, Willis, what you're telling us is getting to play in Rupp was well worth not being a 5 seed and being
Oh, don't even get me started on my reaction when I saw we were an 8 seed. I was
obviously that's what I mean. Nothing was more. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to go back and look at all the clips of the highlights of the CBS coverages and even to the raw days where they would, they announce it and you had to wait 45 seconds before you see the reaction. They've tried to clean that up a little bit. And this was maybe like their worst production nightmare because when Louisville announced and you see Louisville's like the cheerleaders in the back are clapping, but clearly Pat Kelsey's like, fuck this. Everyone, the players obviously
their reaction while looking at each other, it was a nightmare.
That had me worried a little bit. I wasn't feeling so. I mean, it was bad, and the matchup obviously had me worried because McDermott really is, and of course, in hindsight, we get kind of that. Age myself a little bit, that 2004 second round Butler matchup moment where Archie's hitting everything from the corner. They got the white guy nailing it. That's what they did to us. I think it's great. And, odds of them having a white guy shooting threes is probably like 80% chance.
Yep.
And I agree. I love the crowd, even in moments where, normally you would, they were not going to go down. But Creighton just was a better team. The Rain Smith thing was a big blow. And,
very unfortunate. Not having a capable big or somebody to even guard.
A bad matchup, and I don't think that the seeding thing had any effect going into the game mentally because the team looked like they were ready to play. It just, we were also worn down. I mean, again, I mentioned how the team we
looked dead. We didn't look like we had our legs under us,
and it looked like a team that has gone through a very long and hard fought 30-something game season and that's no excuse. Creighton has too, and their kids played just as many minutes. But unfortunately, I was kind of hoping Creighton would beat Auburn just to get some satisfaction in that. But it sucks. But you know what? It's great to I think the South Park episode when Kyle gets dumped and he does the whole conformist thing, which is a great scene. But Butters is the one that straightens him up by telling him on the curb. He's like, at least it's better to love than lost.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's better. As I think I tweeted out, it's better to love and lost in the first round than sit at home, twiddling my thumbs with an 8-win team. And I don't want to
having Kenny Payne be your head coach.
Now that being said, all that shit's put aside. Now it's time to get business down to business, and the new car smell is gone. And there's no. Oh yay! We just won 24 games anymore. We're back now. There's no playing around.
Yeah. The expectations raised now, 100%. Fellas, obviously we got a whole tournament we watched before we all spoke again. How did you guys feel? Who was your all's pick? Who was your favorite? And then did any surprises? Did anything at all shock you about how the NCAA tournament unfolded, other than where we were seated?
No, I think. besides us being an 8, Memphis being a 5, there weren't really any other surprises outside North Carolina, I should say, because when we were put as an 8 seed, I said to myself, "There's absolutely no way Carolina's in." Then 30 seconds later, the name is called. It's just ridiculous. But
Yeah.
it was the chalkiest tournament since 2015, at least. I had in my final Duke and Auburn, Duke winning. I did have Texas Tech in the Final Four, which I thought was looking great until Walter Clayton turned into Jesus once again, put Florida on its back and carried them to the title. But it was a decent tournament. The Final Four, all 3 of those games were incredible, though. So, end result, it was a positive experience.
Yeah. It's cool to see all. I don't mind seeing all 4 1 seeds. Trev, what about you?
I mean, this tournament was just another proof that I don't have my finger up my ass and just not I'm talking out of it because I didn't know anything. I got it all wrong. I did have Houston, I think, winning it all at least. So, I mean, I had that perk, but my Final Four was, I think it was Houston, Florida, Ole Miss, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin really pissed me off because I still thought they were the best team in the Big Ten, and they had a guy that could put up some points, and then the close loss. I don't remember how they lost to. I forget.
BYU.
Who was it?
Mm-hmm.
BYU. Yeah. It was they lost by 2. They came back and made it look closer than it was, but and then Ole Miss just. I thought I was doing okay with Ole Miss, but hey, they just fell short.
Yep. I don't know if you guys just saw that text. The Louisville managers, we should shout them out, won their championship. I don't know if you guys watched those streams.
Yeah, we roll.
Yeah. 100%.
Electric.
I do find
Shout out to the UofL managers getting the job done.
Yes, sir.
I mean, this was, as you mentioned, chalkiest. I mean, this was all 4 number ones the first time since
2009 or 8.
No, it was 07 when Florida was the last time. I think the lesson we know now is if Florida is going to win it, it's going to be a chalk-ass boring tournament. The 07 tournament was like that too, and then that was the second of their championships. And
what they beat, was it Ohio State?
Ohio State, I think, was the second, and the first one they beat Michigan State, maybe.
Was it UCLA?
UCLA was in it.
They were in the Final Four for sure.
And the Final Four before that, their 06 Final Four was pretty boring as well. That had at least George Mason, I believe, in it. That would have been George Mason, LSU. Georgetown. Georgetown was in 06. Because that was the year that Jeff Green walked Vanderbilt. They didn't call it, and
it was in 2006 UCLA versus Florida, and Florida won. And then it was George Mason and LSU. The other teams.
That was the Stromile Swift team that beat. Yeah, they were a 4 seed. Pull out the other. No, 7 was all number ones. George Mason team. I mean, God, it's so crazy now. Think about when you see guys like St. Peter's going to the Elite 8, and we've had 16s beat once, twice.
Yeah.
I mean, when George Mason as an 11 seed went, they beat a 1 seed UConn. And at the time, that was without a doubt the largest upset numerically in history. I mean, now of course it can't be topped. Like the 99.
Yeah, well, it feels like a 15 seed's knocking down a 2 every couple of years now.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be able to name all your 15, starting with the very first one in Richmond that knocked off Syracuse in '89. To Santa Clara, to Hampton, and now I almost forget who won 15s won where. It's insane, but that's I thought I was totally wrong too. I thought going into this tournament we were going to have more of a funky Final Four. I thought we with like a 7, a 10, an 8, and so obviously I was completely wrong on that one. As usual, just fade me whenever I tell you what I think is the lesson we've learned, and but it was still. It was kind of boring though. I mean, I guess, and I want to throw this out there. This while I'm ranting in my old boomer age on one shining moment. For the love, I want to say this, please. This is to anybody at CBS if you're watching. We don't need play-by-play clips mixed in with it. It's fucking overkill production. Give me the song. I'll take Luther. I love Luther. I like the original version better, but I'll take Luther. Just keep Jennifer Hudson the fuck away.
Let him know, Trev.
And just give me the song mixed with just nothing but highlights. It's honey. It's so simple. It's like peanut butter and chocolate together. It's just there's no reason to add caramel and lava and crap. No. I just need music, Luther, clips. That's it. It's perfection. And yet you give me shit with fucking basil and cheese on it. I don't want it.
First rain of the night down.
First rant's down.
It really pissed me off in 13 because young Trevor, my young 12-year-old, 10-year-old Trevor's favorite moments was recording the championship game and then seeing one shining moment before it was kind of publicized in the early 90s and throughout the 90s. And it was my favorite thing. I loved it. So, and when Louisville won the 13, despite being on the court, being able to be on the court and watch us cut down the nets, which I loved, you never seen a fat man run so fast to get to the back media room at that time so I could try to see one shining moment because that's how much it meant to me. And it was fucking bullshit. One of the worst one shining moments. Montrez barely, his dunk's like our only clip. I mean, it's like come on, man. And of course, that they got sound bites. I got to hear more.
Last thing on that, Roman, I can't remember when it was. It might have been the day after the championship game. You and Mike were talking on the radio show about one shining moment. And I can't remember which one of you brought up the point about how the production value isn't high enough anymore to where it's kind of unique because it just feels like any person with any sort of editing skills can create a replica essentially of one shining moment in so many different aspects. They can create one for tournament, their own team, what have you. Yeah. And it kind of just takes away from the magic.
I mean, you could just time it up. It's not hard. The heat of the moment. You show the guy, pumping his chest. You got a guy jumping, show an old coach, with the line about and quick. At some point, to watch this one they just did this year, they have sound bites of play-by-play covering up the song lyrics. It's one thing when you're covering up the cool guitar solo in the bridge.
Yeah.
It pisses me off even more. But now you're putting them over even the lyrics. I mean, why do we even have a song for in there? What's the point?
It's ruined now. There is no point. I don't.
Started like bullshit and ended with bullshit.
I just don't get what they think. What they think's better about it. I think that they think more people will be into it like that, which just doesn't make sense. But
I mean, let's be just thankful that they don't do the Jennifer Hudson thing again. I mean, let's all just at least if this is the result I get instead of that, and instead of seeing her every 30 seconds on the clip singing in the mic, then I'm happy with it. Plus, her rendition sucked. If I have to take this, a lesser of two evils, then I'll take it. But I'll just rather go rewatch the 1994 one because that one, my friends, go watch 94 at One Shining Moment. That's perfection. I need a cigarette now.
Glad you got that out, Trev. I'm glad you addressed that. We needed to let them people know. If this gets out to the right people, that some changes will be made.
I was telling the monks this same speech, and you should have seen the looks they were giving me.
While they were massaging you or putting hot rocks on you or whatever they were doing.
This kept trying to hand me a goose. I'm like, I don't want a fuck goose. I want one shining moment.
Fellas, there's been a lot happening. Obviously, Kevin Sampson didn't get the job done. Yet again.
It's sad. I like Kevin Sampson.
I was sad. I wanted him to as well. But Florida, congrats to him. If they had a complete team, they got the job done. I just wish that he could have got a shot up at least on that last that in there. I hate a game to end like that without even a chance for it to go different with the
props to him for not touching it, knowing that I would have. I don't think I would even realize that in that heat of the moment. I gave him props for just realizing the rule at that point, knowing not to touch the ball.
Yeah, if his foot came off the ground, he can't touch it. If his foot didn't come off the ground, he could have picked it up and not moved, but.
Again,
in the moment he's not. I mean, you can't think about that. Did my foot come all the way off the ground? I mean, you're feeling like it did when you were going up for an attempt like that, and it looked like his foot came all the way off.
That's kind of how that ending kind of summed up the whole tournament in a nutshell. Kind of, it was close in some ways, but there just lacked excitement still. I mean, I mean, was there? What would be the moment of the tournament, really? I mean,
I don't think there was one. I don't think there was that one. I mean,
this one we're going to be back in like 5 or 6.
Derek Queen's shot against Colorado State's probably the moment. It was a game winner, but still, it's like it wasn't anything crazy, but it was a cool game winner. It was
fun. Yeah, it was I mean, for tournament standards too, specifically, but yeah, that was back. I mean, I know it was it, right? I mean, that was
in terms of game winners. I think so.
I mean, it didn't have to be a buzzer beater like that, but I mean, we didn't have really anything.
I guess just Houston's comeback on Duke that'll be looked at because it was such a huge moment, and everybody was so happy for Kelvin Sampson in Houston.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one. Florida having comeback games. I mean, that's
a good point too.
Walter Clayton having those clutch shots like that.
The Clayton shot where he went Reggie Miller and just walked back and shot.
Ran back against Texas Tech. Oh man,
The Texas Tech Florida game was probably the more memorable. I'd say, yeah, would be
That was probably the best overall game in the tournament, or at least in the top 3.
Yeah.
Still, I mean,
I'd say I'm right there with you guys for sure.
I mean, now was I my hater that's just. I mean, I was rooting against Florida just so I didn't want to hear SEC keep bragging their boner about how many teams they had in the tournament. I mean, it got annoying, right?
It did.
We knew that was going to happen, you know.
But then I was torn because I didn't want to see Duke win because I didn't want to hit John Snyder or whatever.
Shire.
Yeah, technically becoming the first coach, or he would be actually the first coach to win a championship as a player and as a coach at his alma mater. Kentucky fans can argue that with me, and I'll tell you why. Will, I'll throw trivia at you. Can you tell me the only coach to win a championship as a player and a head coach?
Check.
You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Is it Kevin Ollie?
That would not be correct. 3, 2, 1.
No idea.
Roman?
I think it's somebody. Is it somebody in the NBA now?
Nope, they're dead.
All right, well, that explains it then.
It's the general, Bob Knight. He won it in 1960 with Ohio State, but not his alma mater.
I bet I've heard that fact.
Kentucky fans will argue this, and as a Louisville fan, I like to tell them to go suck an egg, that Joe B. Hall did it. But Joe B. Hall, while he was started on the 1948 Kentucky team, and they won the championship, he quit the team 3 games into the season and left. So he did not get a ring, yet he did win as a coach there. So he doesn't count. Kentucky fans suck on that lemon. It's Bobby Knight only.
That's cool. Thank you, Trevor. We needed that.
We learn and entertain here on the show.
Fact of the day there. Will, Trevor, NBA playoffs have been on. I do want to jump into that as well because obviously we've got them on right now behind Will. The play-in games, not the playoffs. The play-in games have been on.
Playoff basketball. That's
not play. I mean, it's not win or go home basketball, but it is postseason.
I'm sorry. For 30 years, I've been listening to NBA bitch about too many games, and their answer to that is add more games.
It's games for people, better chance to get in the playoffs.
They put the word tournament on it, and everyone's like, cool. Now, I know it's only like 2 more games for a team, but still, it's more games. I mean, since I was 8, I've been hearing the NBA bitch about 82-game seasons, and what they do is they give us – and what was the other game? The Hawks and what was the game on before this?
Oh, before this one, it was the Bulls and Heat.
Bulls Heat.
Hawks, I was very
Hawks
wrong,
Magic was yesterday, and then Warriors Grizzlies yesterday.
There's no chance. Why even dangle the carrot in front of them? That's pointless. So many.
That's the thing about it is that I don't think the 9 and 10 seeds but you never know. There's been different situations. Like you look at the Heat last year, they played in. They were a seed. They played in and lost the first playing game, didn't they?
And they were down with a minute to go at home against.
Correct me if I'm not wrong. The Hawks are 37-win team.
Yeah, 38, I think.
I mean,
that's horrible.
The East is just bad in general.
I joked with Will about this before we went on air that I've been playing 2K and I played in the 1980s. Now it's not that it's changed. In 1984, there was 11 teams in the West. 8 of them made the tournament. I mean, and you had the same thing in the East where you had 8 teams made the tournament out of 10 teams. There's only 21 teams in the NBA at the time until the massive expansion that Stern held, in the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, the teams with losing record. The Rockets went to the finals with losing record in 81. So, I mean, losing records in the playoffs is not a new thing in the NBA. There's no reason to drag it on with these teams that we know have no chance.
I mean, you never know, though. You still never know.
I know.
I'd like to see it. I want to see a 10 seed make the 8 seed and knocked off a 1 seed one day. I think that'd be cool. I like seeing that there's stars on some of these 9 and 10 teams, not real, high level names, but like there are
3 things I can guarantee you in life, Roman. I'll never be rich. I'll never fuck Megan Fox, and that 10 seed will never win a playoff series against a 1.
Hey, you know what? Somebody said that exact same thing, but that a 16 seed would never beat a 1. We are.
I would have put ahead of me having sex with Megan Fox.
Exactly.
The thing is, though, if I ever get rich, I could bang Megan Fox. I know that for sure. I mean, look.
I mean, she's pretty rich.
Seriously, guys, I know I don't look, but you add 7-figure digits to this space, Megan Fox would sit on it.
Maybe the voice. I don't know about the face, but if you had like a really, really cool radio
I'm a
show
fat
or
man. I can eat
TV
food.
show, I think you could.
All right.
But yes, we do know who has now
Oh,
won the play-in games on the West Coast. We've got, or on the East Coast, we've got the Magic playing the Celtics, the 2 and the 7, and now we've got the Heat beating the Bulls 109-90 to lock up the A seed and go on to face the Cavaliers.
They got to play the Hawks.
Our
first.
boy.
Wait, no.
Oh no, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
They've got to play the. I'm
They got to
sorry.
play the Hawks
I'm
on the
sorry.
road.
I'm sorry. They've got to play the Hawks in Atlanta. The winner of that game plays the first seed. I'm over here tripping already. I don't know why I'm doing that. I know that.
Well,
I knew that.
play's a little complicated.
It doesn't matter. I mean, Atlanta's gonna.
I don't think either one of those teams. I don't think Atlanta or Miami can beat.
Hopefully, the Pacers give the Bucks. It's going to be scary, and I'm a Pacer fan, but I'm hoping the Pacers give the Bucks. And if so, then it's Pacers Cavs, which will be a fun matchup. And then you'll have Knicks and Boston on the other side, which should be a good matchup. And then the conference championship should be a decent matchup. First round is moot. The only series that's going to matter is Indianapolis and Milwaukee.
Yeah, because there's no Damian Lillard to start that series. That's gonna. You don't think that matters?
No, who's that?
Damian Lillard. They said he's out to start that series.
I mean, what year is this?
It's 2025.
He's playing pretty well, man.
I like Damian Lillard.
He's their best shooter.
He's still a solid player, but no, Milwaukee.
I get he's not the Damian Lillard of 6 years ago.
No, I just said Milwaukee worries me. I am. That 4-5 is, of course, being the fact it's a 4-5 is always going to have a distant matchup. 3-6 sometimes can too, but 4-5 is always going to be a tough matchap. And
I think that's going to be the best series in both. I think the
only positive is the Pacers have had the Bucks number. Because Doc Rivers still coaches there, right?
The Bucks
with the Bucks, yes.
Oh, then fuck it, dude. No, we won. Doc Rivers sucks ass. There's never been a more overrated coach in NBA history than Doc Rivers.
He's up there.
He is at the top. The only thing he's best at is being the most overrated coach in NBA history. The dude's only NBA coach of the year was a 500 record, and that just says his career in a hardship.
I think Indiana's going to struggle with Giannis. He's playing at a super high level right now, but no Damian Lillard. No Damian Lillard is going to be tough.
Matters most in the NBA. I understand that coaching is almost irrelevant in the NBA, but Doc Rivers sucks the life out of everything. He takes talent. He is to talent what cigarettes are to health. Every time Doc Rivers calls a play, it takes like 5% of talent away from the team on the floor.
Rick Carlisle has his adjustment issues and his substitution issues as well. He's got his ability to go play guys who aren't having it and not playing guys who need to be out there. He's got his issues too, but obviously not nearly the level of lack of coaching when your team needs you to do some coaching type of issues that Doc Rivers has.
I mean, he's so bad as a coach. We've overlooked the nepotism of his son being on TV for no reason.
Especially when it comes to the playoffs, for sure.
I mean, really.
His kid was the number, like one of the higher rated kids out of high school, but I think his NBA career and how long he bounced around, maybe he was due. But he could shoot. Player. It was a hit or miss. He couldn't defend. He could shoot. He couldn't defend. That's why he's still not in the league. So
Doc Rivers, Pacers will win. Pacers Cavs should be a really fun series because these are two teams that are very similar. What worries me most is that the superstar of each team, which is Halliburton versus Mitchell, and this may be my little Cardinal favoritism, I just feel like Mitchell has more of that killer it factor when it comes into the NBA that Halliburton I haven't seen yet.
And his surrounding cast is a lot.
I was going to say
the cast are similar. Turner and Mobley are very
don't do that.
Don't
do that. Evan Mobley is one of the best defenders in the NBA, and Garland.
Miles Turner doesn't average like 3 blocks a game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the hardest persons on Miles Turner through his career because he's like
no Evan Mobley. His switchability and his ability to guard everybody out there is not like Evan Mobley's. And I mean, Miles Turner's shooting has been great. He's a better 3-point shooter every single year, it seems like. But the supporting cast and the way that the Cavs are defending right now, and the way that offense is playing, I think that they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That can be a fun series. It doesn't matter because the best team is Boston, and the only person that can beat Boston is Boston.
I think Boston's going all the way. I think you're totally right. I think Boston's going all the way.
Boston's only worst enemy is themselves. I mean, that's plain and simple.
My pick.
You guys have seen the chat. I'm getting called out in the chat about my tweet earlier, my cryptic tweet.
What'd you do?
Here, let's put this up on the show. Let's show everybody here what we've got.
All right.
Will Wigginton, you hit the slide. There's currently 4 of the most loyal Cards fans listening live, and we deserve to know who is going to commit to Louisville this week. You've gotten word on. So, Will, now this is exposing the fact. I don't know if you guys, anyone listening, heard on the Mike Rutherford show earlier today. I have been obviously in cahoots with Will. Me and Will have some inside information. I don't know if you can even call it that. I don't like to call it that. It's not inside information.
Yeah.
We had some conversations. It's just conversations. We've been having conversations with people who have conversations. So we've gotten some information. Will, this is all you, though. Yeah, you know, this is.
All right. So there's some good news and there's some bad news. The bad news first. His name does not rhyme with cement, unfortunately. It is not Nate Ament. I don't think he's going to come to Louisville, but
I don't either.
There's no concrete information on cement. Case and Pryor, it is not about him, unfortunately, even though the word on the street is that it was unlikely, then likely, now it's completely up in the air.
Careful, Will. 126 people listening live here.
Oh, no. All right, well, how should I put it? I'm not going to say his name, but if you want, should I say what his first name rhymes with? Is that like
no rhymes. No rhymes.
Okay. All right.
We'll give this. This is not. Wouldn't be a. I would say this. I don't think it would be a starting caliber kind of a guy coming in, but it would be an exciting depth kind of a piece potentially.
He is shorter than 6'4". He is not a forward. He's not a forward.
There you go. That's all we're giving out.
Me.
That's all we're giving.
You'll know in about a week. I don't.
If things go to plan, yes. If things
go to plan,
if things stay on their current course, you know.
Yes.
So.
Now,
you'll see. Would expect something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because my math is public school level, not pre-algebra at best. At this moment, right now, Louisville has 11 spots filled for the next year, and we're bringing basketball. It's in roster. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So there's at least 3 more spots open.
4, actually. If you
4,
want to have 15,
I couldn't remember what they moved it up to now.
I think you could probably do walk-ons after the scholarship guys. I don't see who would stop you.
No, I mean there's no reason to. I mean it's just bodies on a roster.
Oh wait, I don't want to go. I don't want to jump into this just quite yet. We do have a little bit more NBA talk. We're gonna get right into this. What was there a direct question, Trevor? Because I do wanted to talk about your all's.
No, I'm not. I don't want to go through all the names just right now. But I mean, just I try to do some in my head, and I'm probably forgetting somebody. But I just wonder where at this point with 11 people already locked in, and I guess that would be at least 5 coming back from last year's roster, including the 2 that didn't play, the BYU kid and the.
Yes, it would be. Currently, it's Kenai, Hadley, Kobe Rogers, Ali Khalifa, and I know
James Scott.
Yeah, and then we've got the kid from Kennesaw coming in who I don't know how impactful he'll be as a freshman. I've watched some of him, and I
sophomore,
he's going to be raw, but I don't know how much we'll get from him. Then you got the Xavier kid and the kid from Virginia who I'm excited about because he seems like he's going to fill in the Rain Smith role very well. Well, at this point, I mean, I guess my question is, I mean, what other names other than maybe if you're not getting a man, you maybe don't get Pryor back, which I'm not going to be too upset. I'd like to have Pryor back, but I feel like with Roofs and Scott and the BYU kid playing now, and even maybe the kid from the other foreigner kid we got coming in, I think he's from, I don't remember what country he's from. I want to say Russia.
Sananda Faru in Germany.
Germany, thank you. Yes,
21-year-old freshman.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, at this point, I'm not going to get too upset if Pryor leaves, right? I mean, I'd like to see him come back, but I mean, at this point, we're just dealing with house money after this 11 now. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you've got to be preparing for Pryor to potentially not come back at this point. He hasn't put his name in, so I mean, his name's not in. At this point, I'm not going to speculate that there's a chance he's going to leave still. I'm just going to say that it's uncertain. There's clearly, no one knows, I think.
I mean, if you bring Pryor back, should I be worried about the progress of the BYU kid and the Russian and the German?
No.
It's because right now I expect, I mean, you're looking, he's going to be playing time. I mean, he's going to be rolling in that 4-5 rotation, which is right now Hadley. We know written in stone, Hadley, Scott, and Roofs. I mean, so you're obviously, and as we saw last year and would like to see a little more depth, you might have to add 2 more names in there. Well, we have 2 names in there and the 2 foreign kids, I feel like going and getting. I mean, I almost like we just need more. I'd rather get another guard, a ball handler, if anything, to help out, especially a veteran, knowing that as much as we love Mikael Brown, how good he may be, he's still going to be a true freshman.
I think if we're going to dip again in something like a splashing kind of a name, I'd want it to be a wing who can ball handle. I don't think we need another guard necessarily if we're going that route of difference making 11 players we're bringing in, like that you're going to expect to be heavy in the rotation. I'd say like a sizable wing who can put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, and defend. 3-point shooting at this point, I'm not saying is a must, just what we brought in. I'm not going to make 3-point shooting a requirement. If you hypothetically weren't able to bring Casey Pryor, I don't think Casey Pryor being a priority results in a lack of confidence in what Sonny Frew and Ali Khalifa are for you. I think it's more so the culture continuity, wanting to bring in size and in the front court and versatility. I don't think you would go get another 6'10" player. Just any old 6'10" guy. I think you're bringing in somebody who can almost damn near play the 3. Shit, I think Casey can play the 3 for you if you want to, in a lineup that also has Ali Khalifa in it. So, and you add Sanana Frew, you put Ali Khalifa at the 4, throw James Scott out there, go 4 out, 1 in. So I think that wanting to bring somebody who had an somewhat understanding, I still think there was a lot of integrating Casey Pryor still had to do, a lot of stop dribbling behind the back and trying to be like Kyrie. Casey Pryor
I'm trying to do too much, essentially.
Exactly. But at the same time, his versatility was his ability to stretch the floor, his ability to be play that Chet Holmgren sag back on the offense. And if you don't step up, I'm going to let this fly. And also the ability to be the guy in transition who gets the rebound and goes coast to coast. That's lethal. I think that's defender. More so. Exactly. His active hands.
And I might want to point out, I know the Kansas State kid's a point guard, but as I said, I just don't know how much I worry when I watch him. I see his transition being a lot like like Edwards' was in terms of having to adjust to this level of competition, and that's going to take some time. And that's just, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's going to take some time. And I mean, I don't know. It's going to be this year. I mean, I hope that this is a kid. It's not going to be 1 year gone or whatever, and just transfer back out because. Him not this year with him, but maybe the year after, because Mikael Brown may be gone after a year. I'd like to see the progress with him. I just don't know how much impact he's going to bring out, but the excitement for him because of the numbers he put up as a freshman in that league obviously warrants that to be there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just
Pryor, though. I didn't think about moving him at the 3 and going kind of a big because we were so small so much last year.
I want the ability to go big too. So I think that's more so what it is. I don't think they want to have any lack of anything. I think they want to have the versatility, and I think they want to have the depth, guys. I think people are forgetting the substitution rate and the speed in the Bahamas at this very, very in the summer at the very start.
Basically a platoon system.
We want to play near a platoon. We want to be able to we want the 8th and 9th guy to be reliable shooters, ball handlers, and defenders. Before
we get on sidetrack, I want those others. We're talking just transfer portal stuff. I want to give just a thumbs up and a good luck to our former card Caleb Glenn, the local kid out of Mayo.
Yep. Shout out to Caleb Glenn.
MSU.
There was one kid I wish we could have kept. I mean, like when he got here, I watched him at Mayo, and I know this is a weird comparison, but like when his freshman year, I thought, I thought it was Larry O'Bannon 2.0. Because like if you don't know how much talking my age with you two a little bit, but people remember Larry for the West Virginia in the junior and senior year, but Larry was very raw freshman and sophomore. There was a point where young Trevor wanted to even hide drugs in his locker, get him kicked off the team. He was frustrated me so much, like his freshman and sophomore years. And Caleb Glenn, I remember talking to my uncle who was AD at Mayo, where Caleb played, was that this kid, he reminds me of Larry O'Bannon so much that like once he learns to be a basketball player, he's going to be really, really good. Like he's just he didn't have to be a basketball player all up until he got to college because he was just a pure athlete, 6'4", could do what he wanted to do. And you see that all the time in high school. I've said it before. You don't have to be a good basketball player to be dominant in high school sports. You just have to be a good athlete. Tim Couch proved that as well. And him getting to go to FAU and doing what he did, but I love the fact he's getting now playing under Tom Izzo. He is going to fit them like a glove. And that's I hate this because he's going to be good there. I feel like this is going to be like Louisville's version of kind of like Kentucky watching Chris Lofton do what he did at Tennessee and not be able to recruit him a little bit. Like this, but we had this one. Yeah, I think
he's going to be great.
I wish we had him here. He'd be Pat Kelsey would love him have too. I think he'd be perfect for Patton. But to get the coaching he's going to get for Tom Izzo, yeah. I mean, I don't know if he'll play in the NBA. I wouldn't bet on it, but he'll play professional ball for his whole life, and there's nothing wrong with that.
100%. Shout out to Caleb Glenn, getting away from what was here, still being able to play at a high level, and then turn that into probably what is going to be a better payday and a better chance of success at where he's at now. So,
by far the best success story so far of the former Cards.
Oh yeah,
3 year. If you look at that 3-year era,
maybe Sky Clark, maybe.
Sky Clark is going to be a starter on a UCLA team.
I mean,
he played pretty well. I mean, I think I can look up the stats. I'm pretty sure he averaged double digits.
Well, of course he did. He's like the broke poor man's Allen Iverson of the 2025. I mean, he's
8.5, 3 and 3 last season.
Yeah,
I
know Curtis Williams was in the portal still. He left Georgetown. I saw.
Karan Davis.
I'm sure White's doing something somewhere. I'm sure he's transferring to
White. He transferred to Kansas, I believe. I
Somebody did go to Kansas from us. I can't remember. Was it Trey White?
Nearly.
I thought it was somebody else. I could be wrong. I did see Kansas didn't have a former player of ours, though. You're right. I didn't notice that.
I don't think Trey White
was
that big of a deal.
Not gonna work out.
Yeah, Bill Self's going. He's taking that ship down with him, isn't he?
They're not developing players well. They're not getting the most out of their talent, I don't think, at all, if I'm being honest. And guys are going there and not getting better over a 2-year span.
Yeah,
what has Dickinson added to his game? Has he been there 3 years?
They're looking like
for 2, but it felt like 3.
They're treating this new era like the 1980s Yankees. They're willing to go out and spend the money on these Dickersons, but they're not building it. They're not putting a team together. And I mean, you can have that giant payroll. It's like what IU did last year, going out like getting Bello for $7 million or whatever they spent to get. It's a horrible fit. You know, it's not. That doesn't matter how much. The money doesn't always matter. It's about how you spend it as well. And
fellas, I want to take a look.
Kansas is going downhill with that, and we're going to see maybe the next head coach of Bill that replaces Bill Self will change it around.
I'm not worried about those guys. Good riddance to those guys. Best of luck to some of you. You know what I mean? I wish those guys better luck than I do Corin Johnson right now. Shout out to those guys.
God.
Bigger shout out to Caleb Glenn than Corin Johnson for sure. I'm hoping Caleb Glenn has success, especially him being a local guy. But even Trey White, I don't wish him any harm. It wasn't his fault that I have the feelings I have on him. But we're going to talk about some current guys while we've got these people in here listening to us. Like, comment, subscribe down below. We're going to get into some.
We lost Pat Kelsey missed, didn't we? Who's the guard? Our backup guard?
Corin Johnson, Ole Miss, and he's dropping L's down. Trevor, did you see the picture? Did you hear about me and Mike talking about it?
No, I was wondering about your bitch about him.
He's at a fucking event. He's at some fucking event, and he's L's down with his face away from the camera, like he's ashamed that he's clearly ashamed of himself for doing it. He's clearly got some hick in his ear saying, "Let me get an L's down, Corin. Come on, Corin, throw an L's down."
I mean, he played 3.
Throw an L down, Corin. It's just BS. It's just like you have no reason to be doing that here. If there was any type of like anything negative about his outro and his exit here, there's no way it was public. There's no way it was like based on like how you were treated. Maybe not being on the same page with some stuff that made you give an opinion. Nothing warrants an L's down when you just were loved by the fan base for doing nothing for the fan base. So I don't like that.
I'm more pissed now because if anybody knows me, I suck Beard's balls. I'm a big Chris Beard fan. If this kid, he thinks he's going after that kid from us. Now I wish we had kept him. I mean, we didn't get to see anything from him really while his time in Louisville, unfortunately. I mean,
here we go.
I mean,
This is what Pat Kelsey had to say about. I can't even.
Well, I'm sure it's nothing bad. When's the last time a coach put a statement on a kid and said the kid sucks?
Can you
that would be. First of all, that coach would be. It's probably be Mike Leach, and he's dead. So I mean,
rest in peace to the Pirate.
The last time I saw Coach bash a player was when Stan Van Gundy was interviewed the year they drafted Daniel Orton in the first round. I'll never forget. Look it up on YouTube, kids. And they asked Stan Van Gundy, they thought of his draft pick, and they were like, "Why the fuck did we just take this bum?" He's like, "What are they doing?"
He was right. He's not a good coach, but he was right.
He was so right. Yes. Say he looks like Ron Jeremy all you want. The dude was it was clear to everyone, but that GM, that Daniel Orton, was a bum.
Fellas, I want to get into what you guys think about this. What Pat Kelsey had to say about Ryan Conwell.
That's it, Xavier.
Posted. Yeah, Xavier kid posted from On the Louisville men's basketball Instagram, if you want to go take a look at it, it says Ryan is a pro. Pat Kelsey says Ryan is a pro in every sense of the word, on and off the court. One person that we spoke to that was around him for a long time told us he is one of the best humans they've ever worked with. That is powerful praise. He's one of the best all-around guards in the collegiate game. He is a veteran player that has had success everywhere he's been. His efficiency and modern basketball statistics are terrific. Card Nation is going to love this bravado and big game, big moment mentality. His leadership qualities bolster an already veteran, mature locker room. What do you guys think of that?
I think it.
You like what you're
speaks
hearing
volumes. Yeah, and I love his game. I've followed him since he was at Indiana State. Guys like Connor Enright and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar were talked about as the best players in Indiana State. But Ryan Conwell, I mean, he was their best scorer on a team that should have made the tournament.
What happened to Kareem Jabbar?
He plays for St. Louis. I can actually look up his stats.
Talk about a 50 minutes of fame. Two things about that. One, if you were the women's coach, could you call the woman player you come in a pro off the court as well? Wouldn't that be insulting? Is that like calling a hooker? But no, that's another notion for another day. The second thing I wanted to ask was, does it worry? Because the first thing I thought of when I saw because I don't remember watching Indiana State. I do remember watching them lose that championship game with Kareem, the white Kareem dude, but he didn't stick out to me, unfortunately. I hope he's a good player. I trust Pat Kelsey and bring in the right fit from what he did last year. But when I see a kid on his fourth team in 4 years, I'm thinking, okay, should I be worried?
I think it's just the reality of college basketball now.
Yeah, I mean,
right. Until it's limited to, say, if you have a one-time free transfer and then you can transfer again if you're a graduate student, I think it's going to just be like that for the foreseeable future.
His career does mirror like a minor league baseball player, though. Like, you started South Florida, like single A. No offense to South Florida, but fuck you. Then you moved up like double A Indiana State. Now he's triple A Xavier. Now he's in the majors at Louisville.
And the thing with that, too, the caveat is that when he was at Indiana State, Josh Schertz left for St. Louis. When he was at Xavier, Sean Miller left for Texas. So 2 years in a row, his coach left. Yeah. And obviously he didn't follow either one. He went to a better program both times. But I think this is more excusable than – I can't remember the guy's name. I'm drawing a blank right now, actually, on the one that went from Ohio State to South Carolina back to Ohio State, just going back and forth. That was absolutely ridiculous. That is an example of a guy who's just a mercenary and not somebody that's bought into it.
Here's what Pat Kelsey had to say about Adrian Woolley. Adrian was one of the nation's top producing freshmen this past year. He is a two-way player who can guard multiple positions. He is a dynamic scorer and playmaker with a high basketball IQ. As we did our background on him, it was apparent that his approach, character, and professionalism matches his talent. He has endeared himself to Card Nation already by being the first player to say yes to the portal, and that love will only grow when he puts the jersey on.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is Sean Penn getting on the stage at Fast Times with Mount High and singing "Wooly Bully." That's the first thing that's going to come. As soon as I saw the kids, God, make me so old. Sean Penn jumps on stage, Fast Times High, "Wooly Bully." Hey, I know this song, "Wooly Bully." Wooly bully, wooly bully, wooly bully. Hey, watch me now. Wooly bully. Yeah.
What a takeaway.
God, you kid. You have the internet.
Jeez. I haven't heard that.
I have not.
My faith in humanity just killed minute by minute in these conversations with you, Roman.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, that's the Kennesaw State kid, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Wooly Bully. I think a bright future. I love this game. I don't know how well he's going to transition. I mean, we're not this game. We talked about this a little bit even before the tournament game. I teased with it prematurely, but that's who I am. Is that Chucky Hepburn? I mean, we're spoiled with getting such a veteran point guard this year. That we're now going into a season where you have a point guard who did play and started a majority of the games for Kennesaw State. Again, which, by the way, is in Georgia, if anybody's wondering or knew or cared, and in Conference USA, if I remember right, but play at that level, and along with a freshman. So it's going to be a whole new in a system that needs the point guard. I mean, is run by the point guard. So Come on, Pat.
100%.
I trust you, buddy. I'm believing in the kid.
I'm trusting it too, but I'm not. I think the tape, the footage, it looks good. His ability to create shots and get downhill and use both hands, hang time, it's all there. He seems to have it all. Lastly, this is what Pat Kelsey had to say about Isaac McNeely. Will, did you anything about?
I mean,
Will you wanted to add?
I could go on and on about Woolley. Honestly, I think
You can't back up my woolly bully.
no, it's never. I really like his game. As a lefty myself, I love watching lefty shooters, and he's got a great step back, an incredible left hand. He doesn't really have much of a right hand, but if you can't stop him going left, it doesn't matter.
I saw a couple right hand finishes in there.
He was
a
also
little bit.
a freshman guard.
He's a very that's very true, and he's a very acrobatic finisher. He doesn't have above the rim athleticism, but he's got a lot of hang time. So
yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It is odd.
The defender goes down, he stays up there and is able to finish through contact as well for a freshman.
And that'll help out a lot with adjusting to a higher level of basketball.
I think you're right. This is what Pat Kelsey had to say about Isaac McNeely. As a head coach, there are guys in every team you lose sleep over during preparation and scouting of the opposing team. And Isaac McNeely was 1,000% one of those guys both times we played him this year. One of his special gifts as a player is the ability to make shots, but his basketball IQ, athleticism, ability to pass, and competitive nature are all strengths. Isaac comes from a very close-knit family that values what we value as a program. He is a selfless, faith-driven young man who will be a major factor in our success both on the court and in the Louisville community. Love that. Isaac McNeely. I mean, all three of these guys, it's based on what I'm hearing from Pat Kelsey. It seems like they're all the perfect kind of personalities and guys you want to bring in. So
should I not be concerned that the only one is faith driven? Should I be worried about that?
I mean, he's a white guy from West Virginia. You know, it's
okay.
We know he's confident in his faith. God has guided him. You know,
God.
He's a Baptist.
Yeah. Well, you know, my bold prediction for him on the article I wrote when he committed.
Plug that. Hold on. Plug that. Shameless plug now. Let them know where you can read this article.
It's at LouisvillePost.com. You can find the link in my bio on my Twitter. But wrote an article about all three of these guys, and the one with McNeely, I have a bold prediction about all three. But mine with McNeely is that he is, barring people that just take like 5 to 15 attempts on the season, he will have the highest 3-point percentage.
You think so?
The only reason why is if he's shooting 42+% from the 3-point line, being the number one option at the top of the scouting report, and the difficulty of the shots that he took the past 2 years, he's still shooting that well. I can't imagine how well he's going to shoot when he's going to be wide open.
Yeah,
early.
He's not going to be the main. He's not going to be the top of the scouting report for the other team. Yeah. At least not the main attention. Well, once we get midway through the season, halfway through the season, it may be when he's averaging.
Could be kind of like Ray
hitting 3.8 threes a game. The priority is going to be not letting Isaac McNeely be open or have any breathing room at all.
Transition from him to Rain, I mean, you're going to have casual fans being out there going, "When did Rain start shooting right-handed?" I mean, they're not. I mean, it's just you're going to have out. I'm hoping he's right-handed to land that joke. I really don't remember. So
he is right-handed. But he's more athletic, a bit more versatile.
He is. I agree. I do remember why I've obviously watched him being in Virginia the last couple of years and seeing him play and seeing him piss me off on more than one occasion. I'm hitting a 3 or 2. Yeah, I'd love to have him. I mean, listen, it's the perfect example of an era where, you know, you hated him on the other team, but you love to have him on your team. And of all things, like all the worries I have with the transitioning from like the point guard position from Chucky, which is understandable, but anything else, I have nothing here with this. I mean, you lose Rain Smith, anyone across the country is going to be like, oh, fuck, man, we just lost Rain Smith. I mean, you saw how, you know, this team was affected offensively without Rain Smith out there in the last part
100%.
of the season. And so you just say you're replacing that with a guy who's maybe just more of a complete player than Rain Smith, and there's no knock on Rain, but you know, and maybe just as good a 3-point shooter. Yeah, I mean,
I'm all for it. Bring him in. I mean, the spacing, the ball. I mean, we haven't
and whipped cream on it too. Then fuck yeah.
We haven't addressed this once. Michael Brown's passing ability that he showcased in the All-American game at the Nike Hoop Summit, and just at AAU in high school, and in the footage we've gotten to see, he's a playmaker. That kind of spacing that we're going to have out there, the ability he's going to have to play off of Ali Khalifa, and that the moments where we're playing small and that 5-out kind of an offense, it's going to be perfect, I think, with a shooter like Isaac Neely, the kind of attention he's going to command. Ryan Conwell and Adrian Woolley shoot a percentage where you better be face guarding them too, if I'm being honest, because Michael Brown and Ali Khalifa are next level passers.
I want to see them play defense. I'm let's most scored.
All right, that's fair.
I like the.
That being said,
and this team plays defense this year, so young kids normally don't do it right away. I want to see it done.
Where do you guys see this team stacking defensively next year in the nation?
So I just pulled up our numbers on KenPom. Last year we were 31st in offense and 25th in defense. I think that next season we'll have a top 15 offensive efficiency numbers, and probably I'll say we'll be 35th.
You
think we'll go down in defense?
The only reason why is because
you'd have just losing Chucky alone would think you would. I mean
that, but you're going to lose a little bit of your versatility. I feel like, especially if you don't get Kaysen back and healthy. I know he only played 7 games, but what I mean by that is if we're committing to a 3-guard lineup and we don't know how much of a shot blocking presence Sonny Frew is going to provide. Ali Khalifa is not going to be a shot blocker. James Scott kind of is, but he should be better at blocking shots.
Should be. That's my biggest thing. My second biggest thing I need out of him this summer.
So you're lacking a protector. We don't know how dynamic we are going to be on defense at the point of attack. It's probably not going to be as good as last year because Chucky was the best defensive guard in the country.
Michael Brown's a freshman.
Yeah, I think we'll have a very similar team defense overall, but the individual defense is what elevated us to being 20.
Yeah, Chucky and Terrence were next level defenders out there on the perimeter for sure.
Exactly.
And then the switchability we had with Javon Hadley, also
even
Terrence
James,
James he did good stuff. But he played well against those wing kind of players when he had to. Yeah. So Noah Waterman, Noah Waterman was a good defender on the interior, right?
In the paint. Yeah, that was
the paint. So and then Kanai, I think, had his flashes
where you could say he's tall.
I mean, he was a big body. It's sad to say that I thought he was our best answer.
He wasn't a punk. He didn't give up his spot easy, at least, right? So that was nice to have, right? And Kanai out on the perimeter, he had his flashes where he was doing a little too much ball watching, and then he had flashes where he looked like he could be an elite, versatile defend just about any position level of a defender. We need him to be that. You can defend just about anybody out there level defender, not that ball watching, close out, out of position kind of defender.
Hand down, man down defense.
No, none of that.
We really struggled defensively last year, and you saw that.
It was on and off. It was, it was weird.
I mean, he was clearly offensively ahead of his defensive game, but that's where getting him back and playing this year. That's the bumps of having a freshman, that level. That hopefully that'll improve over the summer, and we see that player take steps forward. I'm banking on him taking steps forward, particularly defensively and offensively.
That's going to be the question with this Pat Kelsey coaching staff too. Is that they've done everything.
Exactly.
Can they develop the young talent?
And if he has anywhere near a jump to a freshman to sophomore jump that Donovan Mitchell had or Terry Rozier had, I'm not saying he needs to become an NBA player overnight. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying just anything close to that, production-wise, just the jump. We're going to be really damn.
Because he has the physical tools, man. He has that ability that if he gets a couple dribble moves that are not trying to cross his man, but just trying to use the separation he has, he can one dribble and 2 strides get to the basket kind of player. Yeah. He's 6'9", 6'10".
Put a little more arc on his jumper.
Like 6'8", I thought.
Yeah.
He might be 6'8".
When he stands next to James Scott, so here's the thing. I thought that too, and I met them both in O'Shea's a few weeks ago. And them standing directly next to each other, both wearing Jordan sneakers, it's about an inch of height added to both of them. They look like they were the same exact height. I promise.
Okay, how are we 59 minutes in? I'm not hearing about you hanging out at O'Shea's with James Scott. Okay,
I forgot to mention that.
I saw Ali Khalifa with a couple of groupies at O'Shea's.
Ali Khalifa was in there too. I got a dap up. I didn't get to talk to him like I did James and Kanai. Rain Smith, way too many girls in there with him. Couldn't. I shouldn't say that. He is in there with a lot of friends.
Hey,
a lot of people interested in trying to get his attention. It seemed like, so I didn't want to be another one of those people. But
Ladies, go to them. Just remember, let's have some non-students in there so we can pull the North Carolina rule on it, okay?
But for sure, I got to see David Johnson, Quinn Lazinski last weekend. So, but yeah, I think that Kenai has to make a big jump. James has to make that big jump as well, guys.
Wow.
If we want to be a better defensive team, James Scott has to be a better rim protector. Ali Khalifa, as much as he can do with him taking off all that the extra weight he had and turning a lot of that into muscle, it looks like on the upper half as well.
He's not really the Wiz, is he?
I want to say he'll have the best defensive season of his career this year. And I think that means he'll be an average defender, right? I don't think he has the true lateral quickness to be a guy who's going to, switch on the 4s and 5s and be blocking all kinds of crazy shots. I don't know how above the ground, off the ground is he. I don't know if he has a great vertical, but he seems like he's the lightest he's been at this kind of strength. So I'm excited for what he'll be in terms of not getting bullied down low. I don't suspect him to get bullied down low in one-on-one matchups. I just don't know if he's going to be, there's a lot of big men and a lot of stretch 4s and stretch 5s in the ACC. There are a lot of guys that are trying to play out on the perimeter at least. So we need Ali Khalifa to be a good defender. We need him to take advantage of having that extra weight off and you make sure that they're just addressing, making him go into next season as quick as he can on his feet and as light on his feet as possible.
I know my ADD is kicking in because I just saw that Dallas is just giving like a step
rubbing.
To Sacramento. I mean, despite the fact
Dallas is up.
They're up 71-48 at halftime.
Despite the fact they actually do have a national championship when they were in Rochester, is there a franchise in the NBA, especially just as bad as the Kings have been for as long as they've been? I mean, they are just they do have the one title technically, so I guess you can maybe argue they're not like Clipper bad level, but the Clippers technically didn't start with the Braves until like early 70s.
Yeah, and they had a lot of consecutive playoffs in a row.
Yeah.
After a drought, though, the Clippers had a drought too, though.
The Clippers didn't make the playoffs between 1976 and 1993.
The Clippers have probably the worst
franchise. Since then, I don't think they've been top 3.
The Clippers have been a franchise for roughly 55 years, 57 years maybe, and they've made the playoffs 15, 16 times in that span. While the Kings probably closer to about 80 years, maybe 100, and they've made the playoffs maybe 30, 40 times, both less than 50%. Neither one have come sniffing the championship. The closest the Kings came was that 2003 year.
Yeah,
we had the UofL talk start up in the middle of our NBA talk, and now we're in the crazy history, NBA history in the middle of our UofL talk here.
I just Kings. I mean, this is the team that went from Rochester to Kansas to Cincinnati to Kansas City, now to Sacramento. They're stuck in Sacramento. And it's just like, I don't know. They're just like one of the most
they kind of got
franchises ever. Like they just in all sports and really in general, they just have no success over half a decade.
They might need to get out of Sacramento.
I mean, why? Who cares? Sacramento, they actually do decent in attendance for a team that has no success.
But they also don't. I feel like they don't attract any.
That's one thing about the West Coast. There's the West Coast. The NBA is so weirdly loved on the West Coast. But Seattle was doing well in attendance before they even left. Portland's always done well. I mean, except for LA, but that's LA. I mean, no one gives a fucking LA. But I mean, like the Warriors went 18 years without making the playoffs, and they were always still at least in the top 10 or 11 in attendance. Meanwhile, the Pacers, if they're not winning, no one shows up.
Yeah.
East of the Mississippi is just so much more amateur. I guess you call it amateur now, college level and high school and stuff. West of Mississippi is where it feels like it's more loved in the NBA. You get Utah. I mean, in general, San Antonio, the only pro team they've got there. Basketball of all things.
True. Fellas, we've eclipsed the 1 hour mark, so we do need to start our outro topics here. We've gotten to pretty much everything. Is there anything we missed up on? Anything on the list?
Just like some quick stuff, like the Nico committing to UCLA and that talk.
What'd you think of that, Trevor?
I mean, are some of these kids even going to classes at all anymore? I mean,
no, you know that.
I mean, I'm serious. This kid literally, we had our first contract holdout in college football history. I mean, it was a contract holdout.
Oh, it's terrible.
It really is.
I mean, and not that it should be something that we shouldn't have seen coming, because it was obvious. But I mean, it's still. I mean,
they're gonna have to put some guidelines in.
No way he's going. And I shouldn't say this like all the kids, because I'm sure like 97% of the kids are going to class and doing it right and yada yada and all that stuff.
87%,
maybe
77%, maybe.
Probably getting lower by it. But those kids clearly, I'd be shocked if he even knew a class he had. I mean, he's taking classes that even North Carolina's like, damn. I mean, it's just there's no way. And now he's going to go to UCLA. I mean, I can't remember. Didn't they just fire Chip Kelly? I can't remember who they hired as coach. Oh no, they got their former player there, Deshaun
Yeah.
Foster.
Yeah. He had the super weird press conference at the start of last season. You remember that?
The former.
That was the most cringe
Oh
thing.
my gosh, I just remembered
Panthers.
that.
I remember with the Carolina Panthers running back.
Oh,
That press
Yeah.
conference.
you never saw that
bad.
press conference at Big Ten Media Day, Trevor?
No. Last year was
Oh,
the first
you
year,
gotta
right?
go watch that. You gotta
You
go.
got to
watch
look it up.
that.
It is the most awkward press conference. Like,
It's
it gets up to the
cringe.
stage.
It's cringe.
And-
They hired him out of nowhere, right? I think he was like just like a quality advisor or
Yes.
something to the team. Like he had
no,
no.
they hired him pretty late in the process. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I knew there was some weirdness to the hire, but I also know he did like okay, I guess this year. But I mean, it's UCLA. Who gives a fuck? I mean, I'm amazed they're going to spend that money on it, and that's fine. But
Yeah, a contract holdout is insane. His
Only
dad,
the
I think his
Tennessee.
dad clearly was in his ear, or his agent, or his dad is his agent. So he let his dad have too much control. In this kind of situation, man, you got to be a man. You've got to understand the landscape of what's going on here. Talk to some people in the realm. Go talk to somebody else. Talk to an agent. Get some kind of consultant in before you went about trying to go hold out on a contract when you had surely enough people telling you were not. You're average. You're not the QB, you're not the name in the QB market that you think you are for the money you think that's what's going around right now. So especially after that point of waiting, and everybody knows who the quarterback is. So
it's only
very, very bad career management stuff going on from the EML household there. So
I mean, only Tennessee can like fuck this shit up too. Like, 'cause I promise you, there's other schools. I'm not going to get that. I can tell you there was probably since Braun's been here with Nil, someone on this roster that there was money issues with that left the team. Was on this team and left the team. I'm not going to running back say any names, but you probably can figure it out by just looking over things. All done quiet.
We know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and he sucked too this year, and rightfully so. Even though he's a better rating on fucking the video game than Isaac Brown for some reason. I don't understand still, but I digress.
We can say the names here. We don't even have to hide anything, but
we'll
the thing keep it polite.
But it's not just that. I'm sure it happens at other schools. Other schools have had this issue probably with kids wanting more money and then saying, okay, we're not going to give you any more money. Peace out. Good luck. But Tennessee Tennessee is a big deal, and they found a way to like just make it just mud on their face more because it's Tennessee. I mean, This is the same university that's giving away money in McDonald's bags. I mean, it's fat Fulmer. It's checkerboards. It's racism against black quarterbacks. It's everything. Tennessee is always just fucking things up, left in and left out. They just can't do anything right.
It's not. Yeah, it wasn't surprising when it was Tennessee. It's not.
People show up and worship them.
When it was Tennessee, it wasn't really a surprise. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Will. I think that I don't know if we've really got anything else, fellas. Outside of sports, everything. Any interest? Anything? Any TV shows you guys are watching? Any movies? Anything you want to let the world know about? Any endeavors? Will, you can plug anything else you want to plug. Will's going to be on the Real Spiel podcast going forward, the Real Spiel live show going forward. I'm going to try to get him integrated into the Real Spiel podcast, maybe doing his own thing as well if he wants. I know he has somebody that he has going to try to get some NCAA football talk on the airwaves as well, some specific stuff when that comes along. Abelson, going to get him involved. Will, got another friend or two that we might try to incorporate as well.
I'd like to add in our phone thread, before I even have Will's name saved to my phone, I have a picture of some caricature of him with some dude with sunglasses.
That's me.
His name's not even in my phone, and yet I got a caricature of a picture of him on my phone.
That's Will.
I don't know.
That was me.
Well put together kind of guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will for coming on and being a new co-host and contributor to the show. We really appreciate you, Will. Shout out to Robbie Dole. He's been commenting live. I'll do a quick little overlay to show you guys here. Robbie Dole just
I know it's all sports, but I want to throw this out there because I have no life and no one to talk to until you all call me up and we come on here. So I rant and rave, and I appreciate for it. So this weekend, I didn't leave the house, shockingly. I watched 7 movies and 4 documentaries just over this weekend while also playing a full season of 1985 with the Indiana Pacers on 2K. Yes.
That's more than I do in a year.
Shockingly, I am single. I know that might surprise ladies back up a little bit, But I did do that. Not all new movies. I did watch the newest movie I watched was Conclave. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I've heard of it. I've not watched it.
Don't. It's while there's good performances from Ralph Fiennes and Stanley Tucci, the movie is basically a Catholic version of Hunger Games. Every day,
actually, I might like that.
Where every day a new secret comes out, and we have to eliminate a pope from the cardinal from the pope race.
Yeah.
All with an ending that would make M. Night Shyamalan put a pistol in his mouth and pull the trigger.
Okay.
So
maybe it's so bad you have to watch it.
Yeah, I would have given it a 6. It was bordering on a 7 out of 10 for me until the last 20 minutes, and it went to a 6, 5.5 out of 10. Also watched a movie called Incoming, which is a teen raunch. If you like raunchy teens, it's all you. Even though it did make me realize I know absolutely nothing about today's youth now, other than seeing a young blonde girl shit herself unconsciously in the backseat of a Tesla is funny in any generation. And then I rewatched Princess Bride and Grandma's Boy.
Okay.
I watched a documentary on
I've heard of that one.
Grandma's Boy's excellent movie. It's awesome. Princess Bride, the best romantic comedy of all time. So get out there and watch it. Inconceivable if you've never seen it.
All right. I like it.
Will, what's
I'm gonna
last
watch
movie
the
you
Tenet.
watched?
I'm gonna watch the Tenet. I've added it to the list. Have you guys heard of it?
Oh, Christopher Nolan movies, man. Those.
Don't know. Fuck, Chris. Are you?
Oh,
a
Trevor.
Nolan fan?
Come on. I do like Christopher Nolan.
Okay, see, I don't. I'm not a Christopher Nolan fan. Him and Wes Anderson, you can have them. I'm not. I just don't. Not my thing. Listen, I like Kevin Smith. I like it on the nose, dick and fart jokes. Okay, old school way. That's me, Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith. I don't need the artsy. You can take Rushmore and enjoy it all you want.
All right.
What's the last movie you watched, Will?
Trying to think. I mean,
Clearly it was good.
you know what?
I'm trying to think of the last one I watched.
The Lion King live action movie. It's not the Lion King, but it was.
God help me! I hope you have kids.
No, it was with a female, but that was.
That does not make it sound any creepier, buddy.
Well, what do you mean? It was at the movie theater. It was just it's a live action.
You're on a date, Trev. Come on.
Figure it out.
The spot hot, Trev. You're blowing the spot up. You're blowing.
I can't remember what it's called. It was like Mufasa.
You can have honey dips listening to this right now, Trev. Come on.
He's talking about going on a date to a Disney movie as a grown man. That just doesn't. That's
that was part of it. It wasn't the entire movie. I didn't
choose
it.
The
It
door.
just happened. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It just happened.
Oh, this is great.
Oh,
we were at Butt Shack, and she was like, "Hey, you want to go see this?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" It was okay. It wasn't bad. If you like The Lion King, you'll like that movie.
I love Lion King.
We've got
much on remakes though.
We've got a Twitch commenter. We've got a Twitch commenter, our first live Twitch commenter that isn't a bot.
Let's go.
Trevor, what do you think of this?
I love this question. That's my dad's birthday and Hitler's birthday.
I know it too. I love it. It's the anniversary of Columbine too. You want to throw a little more salt?
Oh my God!
I mean, that's what it was. You're gonna texture. I love it. I appreciate the question. You're gonna hate this rant. I'm not a guy. I guess, despite who I am and my beliefs, 420 is like the hipster version of what I like. Every day is 420 for me. Okay, I don't need to celebrate a day like that. To me, 420 is like the people who go to church on Christmas Eve. All right, it's like I'm the guy that's already going to church every Sunday and hand out a collection. I'm there, praying to the green gods, and then you all show up and great. I love it. I love the bandwagon, man. Trust me, I get it. Come on in on. That's what that is to me in terms of my religion. That is marijuana. Is that 420 is like I'm there all day. That 420 is when the Christmas Eve people show up.
I'm with you there on track, Trev, for 100%.
And Easter, I never really got into Easter. The only thing I know about Easter is my favorite. Yeah, I'm not a religious dude. I'm not, I'm not. So I never really got into Easter. My favorite Easter moment ever is that I remember when I was 8 years old, I got the only Easter gift I remember getting, and it was the Michael Jordan starting lineup where he's doing the back dunk. To that day, I was obsessed. I have a closet full of starting lineup characters. I know I have the entire 93, 94 basketball set, including the Dream Team set, all unopened in a full of my closet right now. I was
You need
obsessed.
to go take that to a shop.
Oh, I need to put them. Oh, there's a couple of them are the most valuable one I think's on Mark Eaton. It's like $150, but it's not. There's I mean, I don't want to resell them. If anything, I just want to display them across, all unopened, never opened to one. I'm like a fat, unfunny version of the 40-year-old virgin, except I've been laid. Yes, and that's true.
I'll be celebrating with you, Trevor. I'm with you though. I used to do the whole like extravagant. It wasn't a bandwagon thing because in terms of my everyday lifestyle, that was not significantly different than what that day meant. But we used to do the whole go all out and go
when I was
buy.
younger, yeah, when I was a teenage Trevor, yeah, we're pulling out I used to have a 3-footer. We called it the purple,
Yeah, we used to do all that, but when it's something that you partake in and you already have a spiritual connection with it, you don't need to celebrate it for any kind of day. So
by the time you hit 25, 30, you're just kind of, it's
I mean, I get the Snapchat memories from it, and it's like, geez, why would we doing this? Yeah.
Well, and you want to chime in on this?
Celebrate Easter. Happy Easter going forward. I don't know. I don't think we'll get anything out on the airways before Easter, but we are going weekly. I'm not going to keep saying it. We're going to start doing it weekly going forward. Not a set day yet, but
you can put that on the list right behind me having sex with Megan Fox.
Oh my God.
We're going weekly. No, that is not true. We're going weekly. We are going weekly. We've now added some depth to the squad. It might be me and Trev. It might be me and Will. It might be Trev and Will. It should never be without Trev, actually, because Trev's always available, but you never know. So, yes, we're going to go weekly. I appreciate you guys for tapping in and listening with us. It's been an hour and 16 minutes of straight banter. 165 of you all currently listening, 157 on Twitter, 7 on the podcast right now on YouTube, and then obviously we've got the one Twitch viewer right now. We appreciate all of you guys so much. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you want to sponsor the show, if you want to sponsor the show, let us know. Send us an email, send us a DM. We'll sponsor the video caller hotline, the video caller guest hotline. You can be the name sponsor, your company, your anything. If you have a friend, family, company, anything, we'll take anything.
Your business poster right behind me, right under.
We need a sponsor. We need some more, officialness, but definitely just subscribe. We don't need a sponsor. We need subscriptions. That way we show people that they all like listening to us. So
here's
comment,
the thing, people, like us, and just hit like and so you don't even have to ever come back and really watch again. Just hit like and subscribe for now, and we'll start from there. Okay.
The numbers keep going up. It's like the numbers literally keep rising now, and I don't want to get off, but we've been on too long.
If you really want, but
if we get on any longer than an hour, and hours really usually our cutoff, but we've gone an hour and 18 minutes now, so we got to make sure we keep this short so the people who are doing the rewatch and watching on YouTube and didn't get to catch this live don't have to sit here and watch a 2-hour-long video. But we appreciate you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Go follow Will on Twitter at Will Wigginton. Go follow Trevor at Trevor Kelsey. Myself, if you want to, at Romy Bean. And then obviously our podcast channels as well on all platforms. Instagram, Twitter, X, not Twitter, I'm sorry. Instagram, X, TikTok. Go follow all those if you want at Real Spiel Pod. That's going to wrap us up. Fellas, thank you so much. We'll be back. We'll talk to you guys next week.